The huge alien ship hung in the red Martian sky like a dark cloud. It was big and scary, with sharp edges and glowing weapons. This was the Galvaxy warship, and it had come to take over Mars Colony Alpha. Commander Zix Tar stood on his ship's bridge. He had 6 arms, hard shell-like skin, and big bug eyes that could see in all directions. His kind had taken over 12 other star systems already. Earth would be number 13. "Look at these weak humans," he said, his mouth parts clicking together. They just started space travel, so simple. His second-in-command, Lieutenant Krell, looked at the screen showing the small human base. "Our scans show they have almost no weapons, Commander. Their technology is very basic." "Good." Commander Zixtar's eyes lit up. "Tell them to give up now or we will destroy them all." Down on Mars, Major Olivia Clark stood in the colony's control room. She was calm as she read the alien message. She was 35 years old with short brown hair and had been a soldier most of her life. But nothing had prepared her for meeting aliens, especially mean ones who wanted to take over her colony. "They say we have 6 hours to surrender," she told the worried officers around her. Lieutenant Frank Rogers looked up from his computer. He was young with red hair and freckles. "What can we do, Major? We don't have many options." "You're right," Olivia said. "This place wasn't built to fight off attacks. We have some basic shields, a few pulse rifles, and—" She stopped and smiled a little. "And we have Sam." The officers all looked at each other with small smiles. Dr. Alan Peters pushed, his glasses up his nose. He was older with gray hair and always worried about everything. "Are you sure that's a good idea, Major? These aliens seem dangerous and unpredictable." "So is Sam," Olivia said with a smile. "That's exactly why we need him right now." 2 hours passed. Olivia called a meeting with key staff in the main dome. "Here's what we know," she said, pointing to images of the alien ship on the big screen. "The Galvaxy have superior weapons, advanced shielding, and based on their message, they've conquered other worlds before. But every species has weaknesses." Sam Carter raised his hand. He was tall and skinny with messy brown hair and friendly eyes. "You think my plan might work?" "It's worth trying," Olivia replied. "Better than surrendering." Frank looked doubtful. "But what if they just blast us from orbit?" "They won't," Dr. Peters said, surprising everyone. "If they wanted to destroy
us, they would have done it already."
"They want our resources, our colony. Dead humans and a destroyed base aren't useful to them." Olivia nodded. "Exactly. They'll want to intimidate us first, show their power. That gives us one chance." She turned to Sam. "Is everything ready?" Sam grinned. "Yes, ma'am. All set." Meanwhile, on the alien ship, Commander Zixtar grew angry. 4 hours have passed. These humans ignore our demands." "Maybe they are planning something," Lieutenant Krell suggested. "Impossible." The commander's mouth parts clicked rapidly, showing his anger. "Our scans show they have no real weapons, nothing that could hurt us." He stood up from his command chair. "Prepare my shuttle. I will go down with soldiers to show these humans our power myself." Lieutenant Krell seemed worried. "Is that safe, Commander?" "Are you questioning me?" Zixtar's voice was cold. "These are primitive beings. I want to see the fear in their eyes when I take their colony." Soon, the alien shuttle flew down toward the Mars colony's main plaza. It was sleek and scary-looking with glowing engines. It landed with a loud hiss, sending up clouds of red dust. Olivia stood waiting at the entrance to the main habitat dome. She wore her official uniform with all her medals showing. Next to her stood Sam Carter, looking calm but ready. Behind them, the habitat door was closed tight. "Ready?" she asked Sam quietly. "As ready as I'll ever be," he answered with a nervous smile. "Let's hope this works." The shuttle door opened, and a ramp came down. Commander Zixtar walked out first. He was tall, almost 7 feet, with green-blue hard skin that looked like armor. His 6 arms each had 3 fingers with sharp points. Behind him came 4 guards with big guns that hummed with energy. The aliens walked toward the humans. Their feet made crunching sounds on the red Martian soil. The air was thin, but both species could breathe it. I am Commander Zixtar of the mighty Galvaxy Dominion, the alien leader said. His voice came through a small device on his chest that translated his clicks and whistles. Your time is up. Surrender your colony now or we will kill everyone. Olivia stepped forward with her head high. She showed no fear, even though the aliens pointed their weapons at her. Commander, I am Major Olivia Clark of Mars Colony Alpha, she said in a strong voice. Before we talk about surrender, I think you should see something important. The alien's big eyes narrowed. See what? What you're really facing, Olivia said calmly. What Earth's real power is. Sam stepped forward. The aliens immediately pointed their guns at him, but he just smiled. Commander, he said, throughout human history we've lived alongside creatures far more dangerous than ourselves. We didn't just fight them. We made friends with them. Partners. And some became our most loyal allies. Commander Zixtar made a strange sound like laughter. You waste my time with stories? Where are your weapons, your defenses? Right here, Sam said, and pulled out a small remote control from his pocket. He pressed a button, and the habitat dome door began to slide open with a low rumble. The aliens raised their weapons higher, ready to fire at whatever came out. Behold, Olivia said with a serious face, Earth's secret weapon against the stars. Commander Zixtar's body tensed. All 6 of his arms readied weapons. His soldiers formed a tight line of defense. Unleash the beast, the commander ordered. His troops, expecting the humans to send out some horrible monster or deadly machine. From the dark doorway came a golden retriever. The dog had soft, shiny fur and bright eyes. It trotted happily toward Sam, its tail wagging in the air. You mean this cute pup? Sam asked with a smile, kneeling down to pet the dog's head. Commander Zixtar laughed, a strange chittering sound that echoed through his translator. You wish to demonstrate your power? With 2 unarmed humans? His guards raised their weapons, targeting lasers creating red dots on Olivia's and Sam's chests. Not our power, Olivia said. His. She nodded to Sam. Sam stepped forward, his expression serious now. Commander, we humans have existed alongside predators for our entire evolution. We've tamed some. Others we've formed bonds with, partnerships you might say. Zixtar's mandibles clicked in amusement. Is this some form of psychological warfare? You waste my time with stories? Not stories, Sam replied, reaching into his pocket and pulling out a small device. Reality. He pressed a button on the device, a simple remote control. A moment later, a metal door slid open at the base of the habitat dome. Behold, Olivia announced with dramatic flair, our secret weapon. Commander Zixtar's compound eyes widened, all 6 of his limbs tensing in anticipation. His species had encountered many dangerous creatures throughout their conquests. Venomous, massive, with claws and fangs that could pierce armor. From the shadows of the doorway emerged a golden retriever. The dog looked at the aliens with curious eyes. He was a big, friendly dog named Max who lived at the colony. The humans loved him because he made them happy when they missed Earth. This is Max, Sam said, still petting the dog. He's from Earth. He's what we call man's best friend. The commander and his soldiers stared in confusion. They had expected a horrible monster or a powerful weapon. Instead, they saw a fluffy animal that seemed harmless. You mock us with this furry creature? Commander Zixtar said angrily. His body shook with rage. This is your secret weapon? Sam stood up straight. Commander, you might be surprised. Max comes from wolves, animals that hunted in packs for thousands of years on Earth. Humans and dogs have been partners for over 15,000 years. They're loyal, smart, and can do amazing things. Then show me what this beast can do. The alien, Commander shouted. I want to see how this soft creature can fight against our advanced technology. Major Olivia and Sam looked at each other with small smiles. You mean this cute pup? Sam asked, looking innocent. Max sat down beside him and tilted his head to one side. His tongue hung out happily. Then something amazing happened. Max barked once, a normal, friendly dog bark, but the effect on the aliens was immediate and shocking. All 5 Galvaxi fell to the ground, their bodies curled up as if in terrible pain. Strange high-pitched sounds came from their breathing tubes, their big eyes rolled wildly. "What is happening?" Commander Zixtar gasped, his translator barely working. Dr. Peters came out from the habitat dome holding a tablet computer. "Fascinating," he said, looking at the readings. "It seems the sound of a dog's bark, just the sound waves, causes a strong pain response in Galvaxi bodies. It's like how some sounds can hurt human ears, but much, much worse for them." Max, not knowing what he was doing, barked again, this time with more excitement. The aliens rolled on the ground in pain. "Stop, please," Commander Zixtar begged. Olivia nodded to Sam, who made a hand signal. Max immediately stopped barking and sat quietly. "Now, Commander," Olivia said firmly but kindly, "perhaps we should talk about those surrender terms again. But this time you'll be the one listening to our terms." The commander slowly got back to his feet, still shaking. He looked at Max with fear in his big bug eyes. "What do you want?" he asked weakly. "Peace," Olivia said simply. "We want to talk. No fighting. No taking over our colony. Just 2 species finding a way to live together." Commander Zixtar seemed confused by this idea. In all their conquests, the Galvaxi had never considered peace as an option. They only knew how to take. "And if we refuse?" he asked, although he already knew the answer. Sam patted Max's head. "Well, Max here has lots of friends back on Earth. About 900 million of them, actually. And some are much louder than he is." The commander's body seemed to shrink at this news. 900 million? All capable of making that sound? "Yes," Olivia said. "But we'd rather be friends than enemies. What do you say, Commander? Shall we talk inside? We have a room where Max won't bother you." The alien leader looked at his soldiers, who were still recovering from the sound of the dog's bark. He looked at the small human colony that he had thought would be so easy to conquer. And he looked at Max, the furry creature whose simple bark had brought the mighty Galvaxi to their knees. "Yes," he said finally, "we will talk." As they walked toward the habitat dome, Commander Zixtar kept a careful eye on Max. The dog trotted happily beside Sam, completely unaware that he had just saved Mars' colony and maybe all of humanity. "One question," the commander asked as they reached the door. "Why do you keep these predators as pets? Are they not dangerous to you too?" Olivia smiled. "That's the thing about Earth, Commander. We learned long ago that making friends is better than making enemies, even with creatures that could hurt us." The commander thought about this strange idea. In all his years conquering other worlds, he had never met a species quite like humans before. Behind them, the sun set over the red Martian landscape. The first day of contact between humans and Galvaxi was ending. It had not gone as anyone expected, but as Max followed the group inside with his tail wagging, one thing was clear. The universe had just become a more interesting place. 1 month after the High General's visit, Mars Colony Alpha looked very different. New buildings stood next to the old ones. Some had strange curved shapes and glowing blue lines, Galvaxi architecture. Others were the simple practical domes and tubes that humans built. The 2 styles looked odd together, but they showed something important. The 2 species were learning to live side by side. Inside the colony's biggest meeting room, humans and aliens sat together around a large table. The room had special sound panels on all walls to protect the Galvaxi from any dog noises. A sign on the door read "Quiet Zone" in both English and Galvaxi symbols. Major Olivia Clark, now wearing a new uniform with a peace symbol patch, stood at the front of the room. "The first joint science project is going well," she told everyone. "Dr. Peters and Chief Scientist Graal have made big progress in understanding why dog barks affect Galvaxi hearing." Dr. Peters, his gray hair messy as always, nodded. "Yes, we've found something interesting. The Galvaxi ear structure has tiny hairs that vibrate at exactly the same frequency as a dog's bark. It's like how some sounds can break glass if they hit just the right note." Chief Scientist Graal, a female Galvaxi with lighter blue skin than the males, clicked her mouthparts in agreement. The translator on her chest converted the sounds to English. This knowledge is helping us develop protection devices. Soon, we may be able to visit Earth without pain. High General Vrask, who now served as the official Galvaxy ambassador, leaned forward. Her purple eyes looked thoughtful. The Supreme Council is very interested in this work. They have never seen such cooperation between species before. That's because you never tried it, Lieutenant Frank Rogers said with a smile. Then he looked nervous, worried he had been too bold. But Vrask just made a clicking sound that the humans had learned was laughter. True, young human. The Dominion always took. We never thought to ask or share. Commander Zixtar, who sat next to Vrask, seemed proud of how things had changed. Our homeworld has sent messages asking about human culture. Many young Galvaxy want to learn your ways. And many of our people want to learn about your technology, Olivia said. Especially your space travel methods. Our ships take months to reach Mars from Earth. Yours take days. Perhaps we can trade knowledge, Vrask suggested. Your farming, methods for our engine designs. The meeting continued for another hour, with both sides discussing what they could learn from each other. When it ended, most people left, but Olivia asked Sam, Dr. Peters, Commander Zixtar, and High General Vrask to stay behind. I have a special proposal, Olivia said once they were alone. Something a bit unusual. The aliens looked curious. What is it? Vrask asked. Sam stepped forward. We think it's time for a more direct cultural exchange. He took a deep breath. We want to introduce you to Max, properly this time. The two Galvaxy froze. Their bodies went stiff with fear. Without the barking, of course, Dr. Peters added, quickly. Max has been trained to stay completely quiet, and we've made these. He held up what looked like small blue earplugs. They blocked the specific frequency of a dog's bark, just in case. Commander Zixtar's arms twitched nervously. Is this necessary? We think it's important, Olivia said gently. If our species are going to be friends, you should understand one of Earth's oldest friendships, the one between humans and dogs. High General Vrask was quiet for a long time. Then she straightened her tall body. I will do this. For the Dominion. For better understanding between our kinds. Zixtar looked surprised, then nodded too. As will I. Great, Sam said with a big smile. We'll go slow, I promise. 10 minutes later, they all stood in a small room with soft lighting. The aliens wore the special earplugs in their hearing organs. Sam stood by the door, while Olivia and Dr. Peters stayed with the Galvaxy. Ready? Sam asked. The aliens nodded, though they didn't look ready at all. Their bodies were tense and their breathing was fast. Sam opened the door and whistled softly. Max walked in slowly. He was wearing a special vest that said "Therapy Dog" and moved calmly, just as he had been trained. He sat down 3 meters, away from the aliens, and looked at them with friendly eyes. This is Max, Sam said quietly. He's 3 years old. He likes playing ball, belly rubs, and helping people feel better when they're sad or scared. The Galvaxy stared at Max, their big eyes wide with a mixture of fear and wonder. He won't make any noise, Sam promised. He's been trained to be quiet around Galvaxy. He looks softer than I expected, Commander Zixtar said, his voice low. Would you like to see him do a trick? Sam asked. When the aliens nodded, he turned to Max. Max, wave hello. Max lifted his right paw and moved it back and forth in a waving motion. His tail wagged gently against the floor. Remarkable, High General Vrask said. It understands your commands. Sam corrected gently. Not it. On Earth, we see our animal companions as individuals. Vrask repeated, trying to understand this strange human idea. Sam took a few dog treats from his pocket. Would one of you like to give him a treat? It's a way we show friendship to dogs. The aliens looked at each other nervously. Finally, Commander Zixtar stepped forward, one arm stretched out. His hand shook a little. Sam placed a small brown treat in the alien's 3-fingered hand. Just hold it out flat, Sam instructed. Max will take it very gently. The commander slowly moved toward Max, then stopped about a meter away and held out his hand. Max looked at Sam, who nodded. Then the dog carefully took the treat from the alien's hand, his teeth never touching the Galvaxi's skin. I felt it's his breath, Zixtar said with amazement, but no pain. The earplugs work, Dr. Peters said proudly, and Max is being a very good boy. Encouraged by the commander's success, High General Vrask took a step forward. May I touch it? Him? Of course, Sam said. Just move slowly. He likes to be petted on the head or back. The High General, once the most feared warrior in the Galvaxi fleet, carefully reached out one six-fingered hand. She hesitated just above Max's head, then gently placed her hand on his fur. It's so soft, she said, sounding surprised. Max wagged his tail harder, clearly enjoying the attention. Slowly, carefully, Vrask moved her hand and stroked the dog's golden fur. On my world, she said quietly, all animals are kept in cages or killed. We never touch them except to eat or study them. That's the biggest difference between our species, Olivia said. Humans learned long ago that making friends is often better than making enemies, even with creatures that could hurt us. 6 months after first contact, a special day arrived on Earth. In a large open field outside New York City, a huge crowd gathered to watch history happen. News cameras pointed at a clear blue sky. People of all ages waited, many holding signs that said welcome in both English and Galvaxi symbols. At exactly noon, a silver shape appeared high above. It grew larger as it came down, its engines making almost no sound. This was the Unity, the first ship built by humans and Galvaxi, working together. It was bigger than any human spacecraft, with smooth curves and glowing blue lines along its sides. As the ship landed gently on the field, the crowd cheered. Among those waiting was a special welcoming group led by the President of the United States. Next to her stood Sam, Carter, and Max, both wearing formal clothes. Max had a special blue collar with the Galvaxi star on it, and he sat calmly despite all the noise and excitement. Nervous? Asked Frank Rogers, who had come to Earth with Sam for this important event. A little, Sam admitted. This is bigger than anything we planned for when we took Max to Mars. Frank smiled. You two changed the course of human history. Not bad for a dog trainer from Ohio. The Unity's main door opened slowly, and a ramp extended to the ground. First to walk out was Major Olivia Clark, now wearing the uniform of an ambassador. Behind her came High General Vrask and Commander Zixtar, both dressed in their best Galvaxi formal wear, shining armor with colorful symbols showing their rank. The aliens paused at the top of the ramp, looking out at the huge crowd of humans. Even though they had prepared for this moment, the sight of so many people was overwhelming. Remember your training, Olivia said quietly to them. They're just curious and excited. Vrask nodded. We are ready. All the Galvaxi wore the special ear protectors that Dr. Peters had designed, which would block the sound of barking dogs. The group walked down the ramp and across the field to meet the president. Television cameras followed their every move, broadcasting this historic moment to billions of people around the world. High General Vrask, Commander Zixtar, the president said, extending her hand in greeting. On behalf of the people of Earth, welcome to our world. The Galvaxi had practiced human handshakes, and Vrask carefully shook the president's hand with one of her 6 arms. Thank you for your welcome, she said through her translator. The Galvaxi Dominion is honored to begin this new friendship. After the formal greetings, the president stepped aside. And I believe you already know Sam, Carter, and Max, who were so important in our first meeting. Sam stepped forward with Max at his side. The dog stayed perfectly calm, just as he had been trained. He looked up at the aliens with friendly eyes. Hello, again, Sam said with a smile. Max is very happy to see you. To everyone's surprise, High General Vrask knelt down to be closer to Max's level. The crowd went silent, watching this powerful alien leader bend down to greet a dog. Hello, Max, Vrask said, her voice softer than usual. Thank you for teaching us about friendship. The moment was captured by hundreds of cameras and would become one of the most famous images in human history. The mighty alien general kneeling before a golden retriever. Two very different species finding common ground. Later that day, after the official welcome ceremonies were over, a smaller meeting took place in a conference room at the United Nations building. Leaders from Earth sat on one side of the table, Galvaxy representatives on the other. The technology exchange is going well, Dr. Peters reported. He now headed the joint science team. We've already improved our space engines using Galvaxy designs, and they've started using our agricultural methods on 3 of their worlds. Food production is up 30%. Commander Zixtar added, worlds that were hungry for generations now have enough to eat. The president nodded. And what about the planned joint colony on Jupiter's moon? Construction starts next month, Olivia said. It will be the first place built from the beginning to house both humans and Galvaxy comfortably. High General Vrask, who now served as the Dominion's chief diplomat, looked pleased. And there is more good news. 3 other spacefaring species have contacted us wanting to join our alliance. They were afraid of the Dominion before, but now they see we have changed. A whole galactic community, the UN Secretary General said with wonder. All because of a misunderstanding about a dog. Everyone laughed, including the Galvaxy, who had learned to appreciate human humor. After the meeting, Sam took Max for a walk in a small park near the UN building. The dog was happy to run on grass again after the long trip from Mars. As Sam threw a ball for Max to fetch, he noticed High General Vrask watching from nearby. Would you like to try? Sam asked, holding out the ball to her. The alien hesitated, then took the ball in one of her hands. How do I? Just throw it, Sam explained. Max will bring it back to you. Vrask tossed the ball and Max raced after it, his golden fur shining in the sunlight. A moment later, he returned and dropped the ball at the alien's feet, wagging his tail. He wants you to throw it again, Sam said with a smile. The High General threw the ball several more times, seeming to enjoy the simple game. Finally, she handed the ball back to Sam and looked thoughtful. 6 months ago, I commanded the largest fleet in the Dominion, she said. I had conquered 8 worlds and planned to conquer more. Now I play fetch with an Earth animal and help build peace treaties. She made the clicking sound of Galvaxy laughter. Life is strange. Good strange? Sam asked. Very good strange, Vrask confirmed. My people are learning things we never knew before. How to make friends instead of subjects. How to build instead of take. Sam watched Max running in circles, full of joy just to be outside on a nice day. Sometimes the best teachers are the ones we least expect. That evening, a special dinner was held to celebrate the new alliance. Human and Galvaxy chefs had worked together to create foods that both species could enjoy. Music played, a new kind that mixed human instruments with Galvaxy sound patterns. At one point, Commander Zixtar stood up to make a speech. When our ships first came to your Mars colony, we thought we were the strong ones. We had big weapons and advanced technology. We thought humans would be easy to conquer. He paused, looking around the room. We were wrong. Your strength wasn't in weapons. It was in your ability to make connections. Even with species very different from your own,